we'll be starting in another couple of minutes. I would like to thank all the participants for waiting with us patiently. Thank you. It's a pleasure to see you all in this webinar of logistics and shipping management. Before we start the program, I would like to invite you all to raise for the Tamil Thai Valthu. Thank you, everyone. I would first like to introduce our partnering institution and our institution before we go ahead with the proceedings. AMET, Academy of Maritime Education and Training, is an education institute located in Chennai, in Tamilnadu. The institute is dedicated for maritime education and training. It is one of its kind technology-oriented institute of higher education in India. AMET was awarded Emerging Maritime University of the Year on 2013 by Ministry of Human Resource Development, Government of India. AMET was awarded the Best Maritime Institute by Lloyd's, List Middle East and Indian Subcontinent, SME Rating Agency of India. It did AMET's seagoing courses with a grade 1. This is a brief about AMET institution. And Tamilnadu Advanced Technical Training Institute has been there for a very long time, and we have been partnering with more than 40 different colleges, and we conduct from placement training to management related, technical related courses across all the colleges in Tamil Nadu. We are proud training partners for ISRO, Indian Space Research Organization. We have done many training projects with the Indian military, the Tamil Nadu Police Department, and various government departments, including various states and central government. So with this, I would like to welcome all the participants here for this wonderful program, wonderful webinar of logistics and shipping management. It now gives me great pleasure to introduce to all of you the first speaker of today, Mr. A VIMAL NATHAN. He is presently the company's Director and Chief Executive Officer of Bitcoin. He is superannuated from Bharat Petroleum Corporation Limited, BPCL, as the Executive Director, Industrial and Commercial Business in 2018. After more than 35 years of illustrious career, the second largest petroleum oil marketing company, Fortune 500 oil exploration, refining and marketing conglomerate. In BPCL, he was heading the most competitive marketing business unit of industrial and commercial in the oil industry, marketing corporate entity and logistics of retail BPCL. He was also All India Oil POL Rail Coordinator, All India Oil POL Rail Coordinator for Kochi Port, and he was head of logistics for BPCL Kochi Port. He was in charge of evacuation of products from 4 refineries and moved over 36 MMTs of petroleum products through tankers, pipelines, rail, and road across the country. It gives me great pleasure to have you with us today.
Thank you, Mr. Joshua. Am I audible?
Yes. Yes.
Yes, thank you very much. I must sincerely appreciate the efforts taken by AMET University and Tamilnadu Advanced Technical Training Institute. My sincere appreciation to Mr. Joshua Gerard also for organizing this event. In fact, I was watching the last 2 days session. It was quite good. And over 250, 300 participants were there. And I think already now about over 150 have join this one. Thank you very much. Wish you all the best for furthermore such programs. I'll be taking about 20 minutes time. In this 20 minutes, I'll be focusing mainly on the actual challenges which I faced with my experience. It is not a book knowledge or anything. I've been handling the logistics of petroleum products of Bharat Petroleum and across the country for other industry members as well. That is Indian Oil, HPC, Reliance, etc. as well. So based on that, I'll be explaining that. But normally this is too short a time, 20 minutes. Each slide I will take about 3 hours, 4 hours. But I am squeezing some 15 slides in 20 minutes. Let me see how I can do justification on this one. Okay, over to the. It's not moving, yeah? You can see the slides?
No.
I shared the slides earlier. Give me the sharing authority.
Yes, sir, you have been given the access, sir.
Yes. Is it okay now? You can see?
Yeah. Yes.
Yes. So I'll be covering quickly on the common challenges across the world for petroleum and the infrastructure in India, that is retail outlets, refineries, mode of movement, logistic process, and the day-to-day challenges which we have. In fact, the day-to-day challenges, each and every year, different challenges are there. We can't spell out so many challenges. And then what sets logisticians successful? These are the main areas I will be covering. So looking at this, see, the energy demand is ever growing. And oil demand, if you take the normal demand, per 87 million barrels per day. And it's likely to increase in the next few years to 110 million barrels per day. The current reservoir productivity, however, is declining at the rate of 3.5%. While the demand is increasing, productivity is reducing. To make up this shortfall, we need about 65 million barrels per day of new fields. This has to be added in the next 3 decades. And the total capital required is about $20 trillion US dollars. So with this worsening situation of fiscal terms, the unconventional resources, that is the old method of producing crude and making old refineries in the world, and the corporate social responsibilities like various rights of human rights, employees, stakeholders, environmental protection, that is very important, corruption issues, transparency and all that. And the alternative fuels are not yet seen. I mean, electrical vehicles and hydrogen and all is being looked at, but nothing serious has happened. So the energy demand is going to be a major issue in the future. That is one major challenge for the energy as such in the world. Coming to the fuel logistics infrastructure in the country, in the country of India. I don't know, maybe outside the country also many people must be participating in this. I'm focusing mainly on the country of India. So the number of petrol pumps in the country is about 65,000 petrol pumps. The ministry plans to add at the earliest another 80,000 petrol pumps, maybe in the next few years or so. These petrol pumps are all owned or operated by about 8 of the oil companies: IOC, BPC, HPC, Naira, Reliance, Shell, MRPL, and NRL. So this is 65,000 petrol pumps. The product has to move from various corners of the country. How it goes, I'll show you. This is the refinery position. Various refineries which are across the country of each and every oil company. For instance, BPC, which has 4 refineries, that is in Kochi, Mumbai, Bina, and Numaligarh. That is in eastern part of the country. This company has to move the product across the country. They have about 18,000, 20,000 petrol pumps. It has to move the product across the country. Likewise, HPC also has 3 refineries, Vizag, Mumbai, and HMEL. They also have to move the product across the country. How do they move it? Let us see. Similarly, so goes with Reliance, IOC. Now, this is the number of refineries each oil company has. The total refineries are 23 in the country. production capacity is 255 million metric tons. If you look at this, these are the various refineries. You see the right-hand side, the refinery shadow. The refinery production capacity, IOC has got 31%, BPC 14%, HPC 11%, and others as well. Others are there. But if you see the marketing capability or marketing share of each of these companies, IOC, BPC, HPC has about 90% of the market. That is, IOC sells about 45% of their petroleum products, while the refining capacity is only 31%. BPC has 14% refining capacity, but they sell about 22%. In the market, HPC also about 20% with 11%, and others only 10% of the market. So while the refining of these three oil companies are low, they are marketing much more. How do they do this? There has to be an exchange between amongst them. That is on a continuous basis, it happens. Now, what are the various modes of movement? There are 4 modes of movement. This pipeline, rail, road, and the refinery road also is there. So I'm coming to the fuel ports. These are the ports available. There are 22 ports across, 22 ports. And these ports, we move the product by, these are the ports which are available for each of the oil companies. There are 22 ports where the petroleum oil can be taken. Petroleum products can be taken by the oil companies. This is moved by white oil tankers, coastal tankers, 20 tankers which are there of IOC, BPC, HPC. Black oil is 5. I'm mainly focusing on few major products only. Petrol, diesel, and kerosene, where 70% of the volume is moved. Yes. This is moved coastally, but 100% is not moved. Roughly around 15% of this is moved by pipeline. Next mode of transport is rail transportation. The rail, as such, there are about for the freight segment, 9,200 trains. Of that, only 190, about 200 rakes only are available for petroleum movement. With this 200 rake movement, we move quite a lot of product. I will explain how much we move. We have loading terminals of 41 across the company, all the oil companies put together, including Reliance and the SAP. And rail-fed depots, various depots across the country, we use 163 depots to move the products from various positions. At this juncture, I will say in the last few years, we have increased the capacity of rake loading, rake capacity from 48 wagons to 49 and 50. And we also increased the volume capacity of each wagon from 24 KL to 40 KL, so that we position the product much more faster. Okay. Coming to the oil pipeline as such, this is the next mode which we use. The pipeline, we have roughly around 14,000 kilometers of pipeline. 33 pipelines are there with all these oil companies moving only white oil. Some of these pipelines are as much as about 1,500 kilometers, right from Mumbai to Delhi or beyond Delhi. Also, there is one pipeline from Cochin, Coimbatore to Cochin and Karur. Its pipeline is there. From Vizag to Hyderabad, pipelines are there. In this one particular pipeline, we pump petrol, diesel, kerosene with the interfaces and various other combinations. We bring it. We drop it en route in some of the petrol pumps, some of the depots, and then move it forward. This is how we move by pipeline also. And the next one is by road. Road, we have about 55,000 trucks which move kerosene, MS, and HSD, petrol and diesel. These are the various oil companies. We move with this 55,000 trucks, we move a product to roughly about 65,000 retail outlets across the country from various depots. So now, mode-wise share out, if you take, India moves by pipeline 49%, by rail 34% of the volume of the product. By coastally, we move 15%, I said earlier, and by road 2%. Whereas in US, maximum movement is by pipeline. 70% of the volume is moved by pipeline. Mostly they move about 22%, while in India 15% is moved. Rail and road is very marginal, very minimal. This is how the distribution takes place. It's a various combinations. From the refinery, you go by use the pipeline to pipeline TOPs. From the pipeline TOPs, you take it by rail to very smaller depots, which are in various cities, 3-tier cities, 2-tier cities. And then from there, you move by trucks to the petrol pumps. These are various combinations are there. Sometimes pipelines are not there. You move by rail to major terminals and by road to depots and again to the petrol pumps. These are the various combinations which we move the product. Coming to the complexities, we'll have to keep in mind what is the demand of the market. For instance, the demand may be very high in East India, while the demand at a particular month may be low in South India. Because there is rain, heavy rain in Kerala or western parts of the country, demand will be low, whereas some other pockets, the demand will be high. We'll have to keep track of each and every location, each and every state, each and every city, each and every retail outlet, each and every petrol pump. What is the likely demand for the next 3 months, next 6 months, next 1 year? And we'll have to make the product available in the major installations. We'll have to first make the crude available in the refineries. From the refineries, we'll have to move the product via various modes and ensure that the product is made available at the retail outlet on time. You will see this 60,000 petrol pumps. The tryouts are very rare. We ensure that the product is made. These oil companies ensure that the product is available, which they move from one end to another end. Even sometimes from Kochi to Assam, the product moves. Kochi to Kashmir, the product moves. From different parts, from Vadina to Chennai, the product comes. The product in different places accordingly. Supply management also, we'll have to see what product, what quality of crude is required. What quality of crude has to be, one second. What type of crude has to be purchased at a particular period. Sometimes some particular products, the demand may not be there. In the off season, the rainy season, as I mentioned, during the month of June, July, August, September, the demand will be low. Other months, demand will be more. So you'll have to position the product, produce the product accordingly, and move the product in the market. At the same time, inventory management is very important. You can't keep the product in an open space. It has to be in a particular type of tanks only. Unlike other products, you can't store anywhere in any warehouse or in an open space. Only in those things, limited quantity only, you will be able to position, keep the inventory. Crude management is very important. Now, the complexities, if you take, there are demand forecast accuracy and inaccuracies. Accuracy is very important. Balance between one source. I mentioned the refinery capacity is less, whereas the marketing requirement is more for some of the companies. You'll have to purchase from others. Refinery, sometimes there will be high risks. Suddenly the refinery plant shutdowns are there. You will have to plan for the product. Sometimes unplanned shutdowns are there. Some rupture in the refinery. You will have to position the product in that market. For instance, sometimes I have had cases where one of the refinery in Vizag caught fire, Numaligarh caught fire. We have to position the product there. Similarly, rake availability. The railways will see which is best suited for them. 190 rakes only as given. They will give preference for fertilizers and other essential products priority, and they may not give priority for us. Pipelines may rupture. Pipelines, there may be some theft. Batch stations issue. All those things are there. Port congestions, in case of vessel movement, port congestions, cyclones, hurricanes have to be taken into account. In terms of road, various issues like the bans, strike. You can't have excess trucks. If you have excess trucks, you will not be able to meet the requirements of the truckers. They will be on a loss. You can't have shortage of trucks. If you have shortage of trucks, you will not be able to meet the requirement of the general public. So there should be no dryouts, tankage limitations at locations. Some of the examples which we have faced. I mean, very, very paltry number which I'm showing here. Thousands and thousands of problems we have. at the times of cyclone, for instance, Varda cyclone in Chennai, Hudud cyclone in Vizag, hurricanes, Srinagar floods, we have to position the products. For instance, in Srinagar floods, very important thing which we did, was whether there were no trucks movement from Jammu to Srinagar. We used to airlift the LPG cylinders from Jammu to Srinagar. And Hudud cyclone or Vada cyclone, the ships never used to come, did not come for some time, more than a month in Chennai. Vizag ships did not come, wagons did not move. We mobilized thousands of trucks and then move the product, ensure that product is available. Refinery fires, as I mentioned, rail bunds are there, sudden issues will be there. All India transporter strikes is another area, which is a regular issue. We have to tackle it. Coming to this one, the brief on the India brief on crude. India's third highest crude oil consuming countries in the world, next to US and China. Fourth top refining capacity countries in the world is India, after US, China, and Russia. And in terms of crude oil proven results, we are 22nd. So we have to purchase, we are dependent on others. In crude oil producing countries, we are 25th. We are dependent on others. We purchase crude also from others. Final product also is from others. India's total production from indigenous crude is 35 million metric tons only, whereas the demand consumption, the total demand domestic consumption is 205 million metric tons. So the percentage self-sufficiency is 17% only. Balance 83%, we have to depend on others in terms of purchase of crude, positioning of the final product, whether it's LPG, petrol, diesel, or any other product. However, despite this COVID, the current problem which we have been positioning a product. Whether we have had number of ships lined up at the time in the month of March when the COVID was came in, and it got stuck. Ships got stuck. At the same time, wherever the product was required, we continue to move. Road infrastructure was one thing which the ministry gave priority as an essential product. Petroleum products move, including bitumen also move, number of commodities. And one thing is whether any other commodities are there or not there, whether any other business is there or not there, movements will happen. Various products will move. And this is not peculiar to petroleum products, any product. We talk about e-logistics, and everything cannot be e-logistics. Physical movement has to happen. It is not only the various type of apps and various type of programs which will help out. Physical activity, the brains of human beings are very important. Each and everyone has to contribute well to see that logistics moves very well. The role of supply chain, the right quality, the right quantity, at the least cost, right time, and at the right place, the product has to be kept. One of the areas which is neglected, it has been neglected in the past, maybe about 10, 15 years back, logistics was neglected in the past by businesses. That was not too important an area, but no more. With focus on logistics, any company you enter, you can reduce the total cost of supply chain or the logistics anywhere easily from 10 to 40% easily. Now the opportunities, I will say that areas of transport opportunities, I will say there are many. In terms of passenger transport, quite a lot is there. In terms of materials or products, which is transportation by road, maritime, port operations, warehousing, postal courier service, air cargo, pack and inventory control, everything is there. And one important thing is we expect the share of India in the businesses, in the industry overall will increase with the current problem. Many industries, many companies are shifting to India, leaving, planning to leave China. And at the same time, for your the participants who are attending this program, I will say, I mean, the greener pastures are in India itself. There is no need to run around for. Yesterday, I was listening to someone, which country is the best place for the logistics? I will say India is the best place right now. because of this COVID, which unfortunately has affected the business across the world. It's not affected only in India, it is affected across the world. Priority will be given by the respective countries to those who are living there, those who are there, or their own countrymen. That is a natural thing which will happen. But in India, the India business also will improve. So the opportunities are more in India. So you please look in some final slide, which I will look into this. I'll highlight is the knowledge. Please keep updating your knowledge through various modes. Nowadays, it's very easy to update a knowledge, but you have to understand in logistics. This is not a simple job, highly pressurized job, but you have to work smartly. I've handled logistics for 20 years. I have no BP, I have no sugar, no diabetes. I'm handling it very well. Okay, work within the tight time frames to fix the problems. That is, you must be fast, quick. Unlike in marketing or sales, where you see the results after 3 months, after 6 months, after 1 year. In terms of logistics and operations, you see the result then and there, the same day, immediately. So you feel the satisfaction immediately. A high level of responsibility is required because the general public or people are dependent on your movement. Long working hours, but needs to be smart. Range of salaries, that will be there. I mean, as you gain experience, you contribute well, your salaries also will improve. A lot of roles are male dominated, but this imbalance is improving. What sets successful logisticians apart? The 6 behaviors which are important for the participants who have to grow in logistics, who are focusing on logistics is assume operational leadership. You have to be right from the day one. You will have to learn, pick up the tricks, pick up the problems, how to sort out, and gain experience in that one. Taking charge of the job, aligning with the stakeholders who are others, whether it's marketing, finance, logistics, operations, sales, whatever it is, you will have to align, and your customers, warehouse owners, other partners, everyone, the government, everyone, aligning is very important. Engaging with the company culture, each and every company you go into, each company has a different culture. It is not the same culture. It's not the culture which you have been brought up in your house. It is not the same culture in your institute. Each and every company has a culture. You have to engage and become part of that company culture. Defining the strategic intent. What is your intent? How do you go about it? And finally, which is most important, is be a team worker. With this, I mean, logistics is a very interesting thing. It is an interesting area of job. It is challenging. It keeps you alive. It keeps you robust. So, I mean, this is one area where you should get into, though my experience is both marketing and logistics. I find the logistics, you see the results then and there. It will be very enriching, and you can go ahead further with this. Thank you. That's all.
Thank you, sir. Can we ask a couple of quick questions to you, sir?
Yes, please.
I have a question from Chaitanya Vardhan. He's asking whether you could highlight the difference between procurement executive and a person in supply chain. The difference between procurement executive and supply chain.
See, procurement executive is more of a materials purchases. A person who purchases. Supply chain is one who plans completely. Supply chain, they plan right from the inception of, as I said, what is the demand, what is the supply. This is a planning which takes place in the supply chain. They plan what crude has to be purchased, what product has to be purchased. They tell which road, by whether which mode what has to go. Whereas procurement is purchased directly based on what supply chain says. It has to be bought from one place, certain things, certain type of crude has to be purchased, certain type of product has to be purchased. The procurement guys or the logistics guys, they purchase the product. That is the thing. It is more on a materials. Procurement is more on a materials, warehousing and those kind of activities. Yes.
Next question is from Saravanan. He wants to know whether what would be the impact of COVID-19 on the logistics industry globally and about the job opportunities post-pandemic.
See, globally it is affected everywhere. Like right now, the production of petroleum products has reduced drastically. Even in India or otherwise also, it came down to about 60%. 60% of production itself, the petroleum products. In India also about 60%. 50% it came down, even 30% also it came down. But now it has started rising up because the lockdown is opening up everywhere. It is rising up. It is around about 70%, I will say. In some other countries, in India also it is about 70%. It will, I mean, you can't say that, but now social distancing is very important. We're keeping the social distancing and other parameters in mind. You will have to work. I mean, you can't be without working. Business has to go on. This we do not know unless the proper vaccine comes. The business has to go on. It's already affected. The economy across the world is affected. So we'll have to do it. As it goes on, the demand will go up, but it may not be to the extent of what it was pre-COVID. I think it will take at least another 1 year easily to come back to the pre-COVID position. And what is the second part of the question, Mr. Joshua?
The number of job opportunities, according to you, what do you think would be the job
available? See, as I mentioned, businesses will come down. If you take the Fortune 500 companies, Fortune 500 is always there. Companies will go and come, but new companies will come. Old companies will go, new companies will come. When the companies come, any companies come, logistics will be there permanently. Right from the time when the caveman was there, logistics was there. Till the time the mankind is there, logistics will be there. The movement is important. Without logistics, he is the backbone. He is the backbone of any business, anything, any happenings in the country. Whether it is services or other things, logistics will be there. There is no dearth of business opportunities in logistics. Yes.
So thank you very much for spending your valuable time with us today and sharing your experience in BPCL and how the shipment was transported throughout India and what are the challenges you faced. It was a very wonderful experience which you shared with us. Thank you once again for your valuable time, sir.
Thank you. Thank you very much, Mr. Joshua. Thank you and wish you all the best, Tatti and AMET also. Wish you all the best. Thank you. Right.
It now gives me immense pleasure to introduce to all of you the next speaker of today, Ms. Maheshwari. She is the Overseas Director of Unique Freight Lines Pvt Ltd. She has done her graduated in Honours Diploma in International Air Ticketing and Cargo. She has more than 24 years of experience in Air India and Singapore Airlines, 21 years of experience working in Emery Worldwide Company, a proud member of Vista India and heading Chennai chapter, also aiming at empowering women in the logistics and shipping industry. With that, it gives me great pleasure to have you with us for today's session, ma'am.
Yeah, thank you, Mr. Joshua.
Thank you, ma'am.
Am I audible?
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
Okay, thank you so much. Good evening, Mr. Vimal Nathan. You gave us a wonderful speech about BPCL. I've heard you a lot of times speaking. And good evening to everybody, the faculties and management of TATTI and AMET, and the moderator, parents, students who are here, and people who are listening to this. Good evening to one and all. And I'm really very, very happy to see everybody, lot of people, lot of students here today evening, in spite of this situation, come here to listen to this webinar. I'm so happy, and listening to students and looking at the students are very, very happy news. But when I was called by Ms. Divya and Joshua to speak about this logistics to students and parents, I was wondering what these people would really like to hear from us. And then when I thought that when we have to speak about ocean and sky and there is no limit, definitely we can speak a lot and we will never have a time limit to talk about it. See, I'm not going to give you any slides speaking and anything, but I'm going to make it very simple because I know there are going to be BBA and MBA students who are listening to it, and even the parents are listening here. So let me make it very simple, that let the parents understand what is actually the shipping, what is logistics, and how they can have their children come into this logistics. So shipping and logistics, now many of you would have heard from your friends, your relatives, your seniors, neighbors, and so many, even in so many social medias, you must have heard about what is all about shipping and logistics, and you will definitely have a doubt about it, that what is this shipping and logistics is all about, and how to get into this industry, and is there a job opportunity, and will it be an job security will be there, what will be the salary packages, and what kind of companies are there, many like an IT industry or an electrical or a mechanical or a manufacturing company like us, how many companies can offer us. You have numbers. If I start doing it, listing it out, the pages will not be enough. So you have so many companies. We have a lot of ports in India, approximately 22 ports. We have about 113 inland container depots. We have about 11 major airports in India, which is actually handling a lot of shipments, exports and imports. So we have opportunities like an ocean and sky. So I would like to come to you based on these particular things, and let me explain it, what actually you all need to do to get into this. Now we have lot of colleges who are offering about these kind of courses for you. Like AMET is offering a BBA, an MBA shipping and logistics, and you have lot of other courses which you can equip with, and before you get into this logistics. And first of all, let me state what this logistics industry all about. Many of the students know, but most of the parents may not know, but they would still like to know about it. See, this industry is deep like an ocean, and it is vast like a sky. You cannot list out the opportunities. See, you have lot of opportunities here. Even in this pandemic situations, the one and only industry which is running without stopping anywhere. See, even the government needs the logistics, the hospitals needs logistics, our everyday day-to-day life needs and logistics. So we have lot of restrictions during this pandemic, but still we have been running around 24/7. We didn't have rest. I have seen that a lot of companies had been thinking about shutdown, talking about shutdown, and talking about reducing their staff, manpower, and so many things. But in logistics, I have never heard this, because logistics, we are still running. I can say that we need manpower, but we need it with a better and a different skills, not with the same type of skills which before pandemic we need people with different skills, but post pandemic we may definitely need people, but with a different skill that needs to be taken care by the institutes, and I think that definitely the institutes like AMET will definitely take care about it. So I definitely have to say, so, and if I have to say that what logistics will do for these kind of students who are listening today is, you can enter into a logistics, and the logistics is not a product based. It doesn't have any product of itself. We are all selling services. So definitely an IT sector, if you take, they are based on software, hardware, networking. And if you take a manufacturing industry like a coal or a steel company, they are dependent on what, whether the steel market is down or up, or coal market is down or up, or nothing. And logistics never has that, because whichever industry has a demand, we supply for that. They always need the services. And even in this pandemic situation, maybe the manufacturing industries, like how Sir Vimal Nathan sir said, like DPCL's demand has gone down, but we had a demand for the medical supplies. So automatically our demands grows wherever we are being required to be supported. So this is how like logistics will help you. Like definitely without any logistics, you can nowadays see like you have lot of Dunzo, Swiggy, Amazon. Even these people do a lot domestic logistics nowadays. So we can see the DHL, FedEx logistics are running around the world. We are still doing shipments. We have a lot of demands for shipments to be done. So the exports and imports of a country is very much important, and they have a very great impact on the company and the country's GDP. Definitely, I have to say that it has a lot of impact, and it can still See, if you take even the last months, we have done about 8.6 metric tons of imports in only Chennai airport, and about like I have to say it's close to about 7.5 metric tons of import shipments and export shipments of about 8.6 metric tons only from the Chennai airport. And you can imagine during even this time, we have not been allowed to operate a passenger flight, but a cargo flights are being allowed to be done. So I can always say there is a demand for logistics sector. We can always say there will never be. Somebody was asking about the job opportunities post COVID. No, definitely we will still have a job opportunity, but you need to have a skill which is to be required at this particular time. And now the people who are working with us are still doing it, and they're becoming an online specialist. They're definitely doing that. Okay, and we have never stopped working. We are working 100%. 24 by 7. And earlier we used to work 5 days a week, and now we are working 7 days a week. And from morning 8 to night 10 o'clock, there is no limit for us to work. So we keep working like the same way. To be precise, like I have to say that, but what now? Just I will take a note of it and I'll tell you. Last living process. Yes. See, for you all to know, like, let me just explain a few words about my company, Unique Freight Lines Pvt Ltd. See, I myself had started my career 26 years ago, and I just started as a customer service person. And with this cargo industry, before that I was working for an airline industry, and I just started as a customer service person. But how could I rise to a level of an overseas director, traveling around the world? Like, I have visited almost every country, and I have in exposure to all the big companies of logistics. So we have a lot of MNCs, which gives you more exposure. So Unique Freight Lines has been started 15 years ago, and myself and I have a partner who is a managing director, Mr. Hari Singh, who is also has played a very good role in my back, like he has been supporting. And I would welcome definitely most of the women students to come into logistics, because women students are really like, they have more opportunities than men nowadays. I would definitely say the girls, you need to come down to logistics and you will rock. Definitely, I can say. And I'm happy to share that we have not only grown horizontally in these 15 years, but we have also grown in a lot of verticals. And within this logistics scopes, we have a lot of diversities which has been happening, and which has helped us provide more opportunities to many students. We have been taking students of AMET every year. I have at least taken 4 to 5 people in every 6 months. I used to take 4 to 5 people from AMET. So if a company, an Indian-based freight forwarding company, can give you an opportunity to do that, 10 students in a year, why not so many companies? You have a port, you have ports like Chennai Port, Krishnapatnam Port, you have shipbuilding yards, you have freight forwarders, you have custom house agents, you have transporters who are handling projects, you have NVOCCs, and you have airlines, you have IATA agents, you have a scope throughout. You have huge openings in freight forwarding. Actually, I shouldn't say it is a freight forwarding, it is actually a logistics, an end-to-end solution, what I'm talking about. When you talk about logistics, please don't ever think that it is only going to be a shipping line or chartering or a shipbroking. Oh no, starting from a door pickup and landing it to the door, including in your insurance, transportation and everything, this is entirely in logistics. You can find yourself positioned in whichever place you are convenient and whichever place is very suitable for you and you are happy with it. But please create a passion for shipping, and you will never ever feel for it or regret for it for making a career in logistics. So, and we have lot of openings for women, and in my company, I can say that I can give an opening for a marketing, customer service, overseas coordinators, network coordinators, sales coordinators, documentation, operations, and these people over a period and experience and proving themselves, they can still grow to the level of team leaders, trade line managers, product specialists, branch managers, general managers, country managers, and whatnot, if you are really able to do it. I can give you, the sky is the limit. See, the starting salaries, I have seen many students who are coming and asking us, why not a salary of 30K, 40K, whatever it may be. Yes, definitely the company would give you, pay you more. But will you be able to prove at the first 6 months of your probationary period? No, definitely not. You you take a space to learn yourself, place yourself, build up your career, and allow the company to know about you and give you an opportunity. See, the company is new to you and you are new to the company. Definitely you need to give the company the space to know about you, and then after that the pot is in front of you. You can grab anything, whatever is the package. I have one of my staff coming and asking me, sir, this month I have done so much of work. I have brought in so much of business. Why don't you give me a rise of salary of 10,000 this month? I could never say no for him, and I have given him a branch manager position. He just joined with me as an operation assistant. Today, I can very proudly say he is the branch manager today for my Tuticorin office. Why should I say no for him when he is able to do the job? So it's rightly said in the last slide of Mr. Vimal Nathan, the points what he has gathered together is definitely true. That what you all have to know is definitely all these points have to be taken in. So for a specific customer service, I can now still say a few jobs which you people can train yourselves. The companies will definitely need a skill set which needs we expect it, but you expect a salary and a job security. Definitely I can say that the companies can give you a job security 100%, that rather than any other countries. Indian companies can definitely give you 100% job security. And I can say that if you just apply for any fresher who comes out as a BBA shipping or an MBA shipping, many of you must have completed your BBA or maybe an +2, and you must have applied for a BBA, whatever it may be. When you come out with a logistics degree, you can always apply for these posts. Customer service, you can be a customer service executive, you can be a coordinator. You have a lot of openings in the back office nowadays, because even before this pandemic situation, we had a lot of openings in the back office also, and we have documentation and operation openings. And these are the first initial steps which you can take forward and put your foot down to start with and build your career very strong in logistics. And if you take a customer service, the customer service, what the company would expect, definitely we would expect a good communication skills. And I should say that customer service should have a patience to listen first of all. And definitely I have to say they have to stick to their commitments, and they should be a solution minded person. These are the main areas where a customer service executive can be placed. So when you think that these are your positive points and these are your strengths, you can definitely go for this. And if you take a documentation person, the documentation person, yes, we need a decent communication skills, and we need a person who is very strict and neat, who goes by the rules book. And we cannot allow a documentation person to go here and there and adjust anything. We need a documentation person who goes strictly by the books, the rules of the company. That is what we expect. So a person who can do and record, who can maintain a record, who can do a documentation, who is well good at his all these things, can apply for a documentation. A person who can still go out, apart from this, who can still go out and do some operational work and field work, can always apply for an operational job. There is not much difference about the documentation and operation. They are interlinked. So if you're a sales coordinator, you can sit smart inside the office and you can win even more. You can even sell more than a marketing person who goes out. We need smart marketing people and not a hard marketing people. Those days we used to run around. We were being asked to make 10 calls a day, meet 10 customers, a successful customers a day. But now I cannot ask my salesperson to do that. I can ask him to bring a business, but I have to tell him either do you do a smart work or a hard work. It's all up to you. Whether you want to spend your fuel and go out and do something, or sit in front of the computer, call the customer and make your done, your business is done. I'm happy with it. That's what each and every company would expect it from the students. So you have a great opening, and I'm just listing few, very few. Okay, one or two jobs I have listed. At back office people, if you definitely need somebody who would like a back office job, and definitely a back office job has got, you should be ready for a shift system, because we work worldwide. We work for all the companies. Like you have need to work for an US timing, you need to work for an European timing, you need to work for an Asian timing. So you need to work on shift systems, and you cannot expect an Indian holiday, and you need to have a mindset for that. So you have to definitely have. And if you're multilinguistic, yes, that's definitely an added advantages. You can be branch coordinators, because you can coordinate with through all the branches of the company. So all these kind of job opportunities are still left for freshers. You don't need any experience. The company will give you inductions. Even my company, whoever joins in, I give a month of induction, and only then we start a job with. So you don't need to think that what should I do, directly go and sit on a desk and do it. Definitely you can. So basically we all need a good communication, your basic knowledge on a shipping and logistics, and you need to have a good typewriting skills first of all, on using a computer, definitely. So you need to have a good interpersonal skills, how to be good with your own team people. So that is very, very important. These are very few common things which usually you all will have it, but still these things need to be definitely, we expect this. But you, from the point of view students, definitely you will expect what could be the salary and what could be the job opportunities. Yes, salaries, yes, you have even companies starting with 10,000, 15,000, and there are few companies who can still offer you 25 to 30,000 also. Depends on companies to company, the company's culture, the company's policies and everything. And that's going to be very temporary. It's going to be just for your probationary period. So if you are really a very good staff, and the company thinks that you are really worth and they value, and the company can never say that because you ask for a 20,000 salary, they cannot ask you to go out, because the company knows your value. They know that how much you work. So no company can never say that. So as an Indian company, we have never said no for that. We have always put that pot in front of you. It is yourself, you need to grab all these things. So I think I have covered almost most of the things which you students and parents would like to know. And I think I've not gone too technically into it, and I've made it very, very simple. So please let me know. And I would like to tell the parents also, if your children are really interested in logistics, please allow them to build up a career in logistics. The career in logistics is really very, very strong position. So please allow them to do that, and they will definitely shine, and they will definitely be satisfied with their job. And many people would be interested in traveling, and logistics will provide you a lot of traveling opportunities too, and people. And I am expecting lot of, I can see very few girls here, students, and but I would explain, please tell your friends, relatives, whoever it is. For girls, we have so much of job opportunities in and at par with men. Even now we have lot of sales managers for in girls are doing that. And the association where I am into, Vista International, which is Women's International Shipping and Trading Association, we have so many ladies who are in the top management positions. Okay, so even if you know about it, I think so. Ms. Vinita Venkatesh, who is a director of this Krishnapatnam port, and like her, we have so many people into this organization, and we expect more ladies into this. We have a lot of job opportunities for them too, and I don't say for men we don't have it. We equally have it for everybody. So I would welcome that. So I'm happily looking forward to see many of you joining into that, and let me know, like, I have covered everything. Thank you, Mr. Joshua. Thank you, everybody.
Ma'am, a quick question to you, ma'am.
Yeah.
This is from Karan.
Yeah.
He wants to know whether you could, whether you have any idea about government jobs in relation with logistics and shipping management, ma'am?
What's that?
Government jobs, whether there are any government in India, whether there is any government jobs available in related to logistics and shipping.
See, there are a lot of government organizations who are into, even our DG shipping is there. You have a lot of institutes, government institutes are there. You have a lot of openings also there. So if you wanted a government job, that is a totally different one. You can choose. We always have. It's not only like we have a logistics sector also, which is happening. When you take SCI, it is actually a government, it is our own government shipping lines. So it is a kind of a government job. You cannot expect a direct government job in logistics. Yes, we do have it. See, every sector, whenever you take it, even if you take a forestry department, there is a logistics which is happening in the forestry department. So that is a government job. If you get into the forestry department, there is a logistics opening for a person who exports all these logs taken from the forest and they move in it. So we have handled that. So there is a person who is sitting and handling this. That's a logistics opening, and that happens in the government department. So you cannot expect a separate logistics department in government to provide you a job. But every department has a logistics opening. So I can say definitely we can do that.
Thank you very much, ma'am, for spending your valuable time and giving various inputs. And you have motivated many women, because many women think that maybe logistics is not the right kind of job opportunity for them. But I think you have given them a lot of motivation, because that was one of our questions too. We had this question from a person called Sanjana, whether a woman would play an important role in logistics. And I think you have answered that question. So once again, thank you very much, ma'am. On behalf of all the participants, ourselves, both the institutions, we would like to thank you for spending your valuable time with us. Thank you. It now gives me immense pleasure to introduce to all of you the next speaker of day, Anbalagan sir. He brings more than 25 years of professional experience in IT and logistics in Singapore and in India. Anbalagan sir started his career as in Spic Limited in Chennai, and he had graduated from Anna University, Gindi. He is currently the CEO of ELGRO Consultancy Services Pte Limited in Singapore. Prior to that, he was in the IT and logistics as applications manager at Keppel Enterprises Services Pte Limited, and he has more than 25 years of experience in the logistics and supply chain and IT industry. It gives me great pleasure to introduce to you, sir. The session is yours. Sir, you have to unmute yourself, sir. Yes, sir.
Okay, able to hear me?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Joshua, for the introduction, and it was a great pleasure listening to the lectures of Mr. Vimal Nathan and MAHESWARI. Okay, coming to my part, okay, I will cover mostly from the Singapore point of view, okay, and I think most of you are students, so basically I also cover about this, what are the job opportunities available in Singapore, and what is the procedures for, applying for jobs in Singapore, okay. Before that, I'll give you a brief introduction about this managing shipping logistics. I don't have any slides. I just give my lecture actually. Okay. If you have any doubts, you can just raise your hand actually. Yeah. Okay. There's a growing need to manage shipping logistics. Okay. There are a lot of competitions in this field of shipping. Shipping logistics management grew to become more essential now. Shipping logistics management involves, okay, if you see, it involves resource planning, organization, management of trailers across the carrier's offices, execution and control of the transportation of your shipped items. And it is well known that the idea of logistics, I think if you see, it began first in the military. It was used in supplying the military with arms, ammunition and rations. Coming to the logistics management, it is part of the supply chain management that governs the business of shipping freight, which is vital needs. It also ensures the suitable implementation and control of the business of shipping freight that will provide the most efficient and effective results. Coming to shipping logistics management, it is faced with a very big challenge to develop solutions for various shipping needs. It varies from labor to fossil fuels. This challenge extends to solving the problems of increased labor, because labor is a problem, probably in Singapore now, and increased labor and fuel costs due to the growth in freight transportation and the increased demand of labor and fossil fuels. Shipping logistics management, if it includes finding the solutions for the negative environmental impact of increased consumption of fossil fuels. It is also concerned with the safety and security of the transported items. It extends to the management of fleets of vehicles used in the shipping process. I think you all heard about GPS. We use the GPS vehicle tracking system. It is easy to increase the productivity of the fleets and even decrease the fuel consumption. There are a lot of automations can be done to improve the efficiency and effectiveness. If you see, the automation of shipping logistics management includes basically automation of warehouses. If you see examples of warehouses automation, something like automated cranes, automated conveyors, sorting systems, and you can even use robots. We also have the application of barcodes or tags. That is also a type of automation for logistics management, and it uses different types of software to control warehousing. Automation, coming to automation, it can extend to software, scheduling of containers to freight trains, and information system. We can have an information management system for the whole shipping industry. The software can be used for controlling customer inquiries, booking orders to ships, managing sales, even accounting and personnel. But nowadays, what happens is most of the things are being outsourced. So we have a lot of logistics system providers who are increasing rapidly in this industry, and the logistics is in greater demand by many sectors. If you see industrial sector, shipping sector, transportation sector, and now the carriers don't have to handle both shipping as well as logistics management, but they can just outsource to logistics, the logistics management to a logistics service provider. I'll give some brief overview about Keppel Logistics, which is Singapore's third largest third-party logistics service provider here. We offer customized integrated logistics solutions. Keppel Logistics has got extensive experience in supply chain management. And also we have experience in IT knowledge, industry know-how. Our clients can be assured of tailor-made supply chain solutions that can meet their needs. 5 logistics facilities in Singapore are there. It covers about 2 million square feet of aerospace. And what is being offered includes integrated storage, distribution, and office facilities within a single location. So you have cost-effective solutions for industries with storage and warehousing needs. And it features IT solutions that can meet the challenging needs in a more simplest and fastest way. And there is another warehouse which is mainly configured to the offshore and marine logistics hub. Since our thing covers both mainly on the shipping industry, I will focus mainly on the marine shipping logistics hub actually. Okay. This warehouse is equipped with we have modern material handling equipment, specialized overhead crane systems, high tier, very narrow pallet storage systems. We have high ceilings, wide column spacing to ensure optimum use of the space, and natural lighting is there, ventilation is there, energy saving lights also we use to make sure there is efficiency in the use of energy. And Keppel Logistics also has got air logistics hub, which covers, which has got more than 300,000 square feet of warehousing capability, and which is mainly environment friendly, building features for enhanced productivity and sustainability. It can meet the demand for critical component logistics serving companies in the aerospace, biomedical, precision engineering, and various sectors. Okay, so offshore and marine logistics, if it comes there, this one we support the logistics needs of the world's largest offshore jacked up rig builder. I think you all heard about Keppel Phelps, the Keppel Offshore and Marine, the largest offshore jack-up rig builder actually. Okay, so basically this logistics covers the logistics needs of this company. So the industry, if you see, it is characterized by having a vast number of unique materials, special transportation requirements, specialized equipment is often required for heavy lifting of such materials, and the step-by-step building process of offshore structures and facilities means that materials are required on ad hoc basis due to limited storage of offshore facilities. And for all these things, if you see, the inventory management is of utmost importance due to a significant amount of coordination involved. So Tatti Logistics have a proven track record and lot of years of experience. So specialized capabilities in freight forwarding, project logistics, transportation, warehouse management. So it all ensures smooth sailing for our customers' offshore and marine logistics needs. Coming to the offshore supply bases, these are the logistical foundations of offshore production and drilling facilities. These provide they provide for basically invaluable supply chain support to offshore facilities that operate around the clock 24/7. So this company, Tatti Logistics, stands really, it is ready for fulfilling the customer's complex offshore logistics needs, and has got the capability to evaluate, design, build, manage, and operate all the offshore supply bases through various projects. Now, coming to Singapore, okay, I think I will cover Singapore as a logistics hub now. Okay, if you see here of Singapore, you all might have known that Singapore is one of the main logistics centers in this region. Okay, Singapore got independence in 1965. It was a low-income country with limited natural resources, and there is it was lacking basic infrastructure. There was no investment, no jobs during that period. Few decades later, okay, the picture couldn't be more different. Singapore has become one of Asia's wealthiest nations, due in large part to its emergence as the highest performing logistics hub in the region. Mainly logistics contributed to the, to transform Singapore into a different country. If you see the logistics performing index, World Bank has provided the logistics performing index. You see that Germany is ranked first. Then after Germany, it is Luxembourg, then Sweden, Netherlands, and the fifth place, Singapore. So Singapore was among the world's top 10 performers. Okay, if you see, it is ranked fifth overall, and among the Asian region, it is first in the list. So if you see this strong ranking of Singapore in this logistics performing index, we can attribute it to the robust ecosystem comprising of major logistics firms operating the regional and global functions here, and the consistent efforts to drive operations excellence through we have public and private collaborations. So these factors put Singapore in good stead to maintain its position as a leading global logistics hub. Okay, if you see the report I just mentioned before, the logistics performing index report, this is based upon the survey dated from more than about 1,200 logistics professionals. It ranked 160 countries and captured critical information about the complexity of international trade. So if you see the index, this index scores countries on key criteria of logistics performance, which includes infrastructure, quality of service, shipment reliability, timeliness, and border clearance efficiency. Okay. So if you see these numbers, they speak for themselves. Today, if we take this small city state, this Singapore is home to the world's largest transshipment container port. And this is linked to over 600 ports worldwide. You think you have heard about this Singapore Changi Airport? Singapore Changi Airport is voted the best internationally, and it is being served by about 6,800 or 7,000 weekly flights and covers about 350 cities worldwide. So just this port and airport, okay, finally if you see this islands, this is a small island. Okay, if you see this trade value amounts to about 3.5 times its GDP. So if you see this achievement, it doesn't happen over the time, just like that. Okay, it didn't happen by chance. Okay, it is a combination of forward-looking public policy, extensive private sector engagement. Okay, this can provide some lessons to any developing country. They are seeking to improve its logistics network. Okay, I just probably will highlight some key factors. Okay, key factors of success. Basically, if you see, it comes to building connectivity, then innovative infrastructure and processes, and actually the third one, the main thing is the encouraging this private sector participation. Okay, these three factors are the main factors. If you see building connectivity in the sense, if we compare to other major transport hubs, Singapore's local market is relatively very small. Developing high frequency connections to hundreds of destinations across the globe. Okay, it is just not a given. It is outcome of a proactive expansion policy. So as part of these efforts, Singapore, we have our Civil Aviation Authority of Singapore. We have this air services agreement with about 130 states and territories to increase the number of flight connections. Likewise, coming to the shipping side, the port has worked closely with shipping lines to build one of the world's densest maritime transport networks. So we have extensive network of FTAs, free trade agreements, with more than 30 trading partners, and it enhances the access to major markets. This encourages companies across the logistics chain to operate from Singapore. Okay, they know they can count on frequent and reliable connections to reach global markets quickly. In fact, if you see the high frequency connections sometimes allow goods to reach the destinations faster via Singapore than if you use anywhere even through direct shipments. Okay, so the building connectivity part is a main activity. Okay, main key factor of success. Coming to the innovative, I mentioned about this innovative infrastructure and processes. Over time, Singapore's logistics sector has built world-class infrastructure and processes. The country is always thinking ahead, and several initiatives built for the future in every part of the logistics chain. Upon completion of we think you would have heard about this next generation port 2030. Okay, there's a vision for Singapore by 2030. The ports, the logistics of Singapore will be expanded like it's a major milestone for us actually. Okay? So when coming to that point of this next generation port 2030, what will happen is the Singapore port will be able to process about 65 million standard shipping containers, making it the largest integrated facility in the world. So if you see, it is exploring driverless automated guided vehicles, leveraging smart sensors to detect shipping anomalies such as all those things, something like piracy. Data analytics is used to predict traffic congestion spots. That's for the shipping side. Coming to the aviation sector, okay, there are plans to double the capacity of the airport. Air cargo is encouraged to use Singapore via specialized infrastructure and processes. So Singapore will be the major logistics hub in this region actually. Okay, and even there's an airport's logistics park for time sensitive cargo. For example, you want to just make it more time sensitive. So all those time sensitive cargo. So the cold chain centers for perishables, regional express facilities to accommodate burgeoning e-commerce activity. Okay. So I think I can talk about this digitalization, streamlining trade permit approval processes, and many government agencies here. All those things to facilitate controlling trade and facilitating trade and all those things. Okay. And the last one is encouraging private sector participation. The government recognizes the importance of including the private sector in policy decisions. Over time, port and airport operators were corporatized to ensure they remain responsive to the needs of the industry. These three factors. These are three factors that is three factors mainly: this connectivity, infrastructure and processes, private sector participation, created an integrated ecosystem that allows logistics to strive. Okay, so now there's one more. This one I covered about this Singapore as a logistics hub. I think for the students, the main thing what they might be interested is what is the opportunities available for them. Okay, what are the positions? I just quickly cover. Give me just another 5 minutes. I will just cover this and then I will wrap it up actually. Coming to the opportunities available, I don't know whether I can share the screen.
Yes, sir. Access has been given to you, sir. You can share.
Okay. I'll just share the screen. I think, are you able to see this screen?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Okay, fine. Okay, this one covers basically what are the, opportunities available in this logistics industry. If we go see here, basically sales and customer service, logistics, solutioning and program management, logistics, process improvement. Then if you see below, you can see all those positions available actually. So students can, focus on all those things. Even starting from order fulfillment assistant, customer service assistant, coordinator, then you can you can move up from logistics side, logistics data management, logistics data entry coordinator. You can go up, basically become customer service manager, logistics solutions manager. All those different paths are available. Probably I can share this slide with you later. Similarly, for this warehouse management and operations, transport management and operations, freight forwarding, the path is here. And I think a lot of institutions are there in, in India itself that can provide customized courses that can equip the students for this position. In Singapore, we have something like for foreigners to come to Singapore, we have you can have employment pass, some special pass, work permits, a lot of other passes are there. And if you got about 2 to 3 years experience in this industry, I think there are a lot of job opportunities available. Even during this COVID situations, post-COVID situations, I think logistics has got a lot of opportunities. Many jobs are available here. Probably you can keep in touch through Joshua if you are interested in knowing more about this actually. Okay.
Sir, I have a couple of quick questions, sir.
Yeah.
We have been receiving questions from many participants.
Okay.
So one question is, sir, what would be the average salary of a person who's working in logistics sector in Singapore, sir?
Okay. See, salary for employment pass holders. Okay, the minimum salary requirement is about 4,000 Singapore dollars to start with, if they want to apply employment pass. So it can be from 4,000 to maybe around 8,000 to $9,000 per month. But a logistics manager, for example, if it's a manager position, you can expect somewhere around $5,000 to $6,000 per month minimum starting salary actually. Okay?
5,000, 6,000 Singapore dollars.
5,000 Singapore dollars. Yeah, 5,000 to 6,000 Singapore dollars per month. Okay, as a manager position, to starting salary will be around that actually. Okay.
Yes, one more question, sir, I have from Sanjana. She's asking whether women could also be employed in this particular industry.
Yes. We have a lot of people. Women, even from my previous companies, Capital Logistics, if you see, women, basically most of them are women actually. Okay, most of them are women because they handle all those office related works actually. They don't need to go physically, no need to go and put the things into the cranes or something, but they can always not, no, basically most of them are digitalized, most of them are computerized. So all the, I mean, most of the people are women because basically they just don't do anything else. Basically they come and say they just concentrate on works, and it is more, I mean, we prefer women mostly in this type of jobs actually.
Sir, thank you very much for
Yeah.
your valuable time and joining with us today for this program, sir, and sharing your thoughtful inputs
Okay.
about logistics and shipping industry in Singapore, sir. Thank you very much, sir.
Okay, thank you, Joshua. Thank you for the participants who listen to my talk patiently for this time. Thank you. Yeah.
It now gives me great pleasure to introduce the final speaker of Logistics and Shipping Management Webinar 2020, Sir Andrew Chalambers. He's a successful businessman and outstanding Entrepreneur of the Year award from Global Business Excellence. He's finished his law degree also from Queen Mary College, University of London. He's a fellow of the Institute of Directors, fellow of the Institute of Leadership and Management, fellow of the Institute of Administrative Management, and fellow of Chartered Management Institute. He's one of the most important personalities who has great experience in logistics and shipping, and he's joining with us from London. Sir, the session is yours.
Hello, can you hear me?
Yes, sir. Yes.
Excellent. Okay, namaste to everybody. Welcome. Greetings from London. Just a little bit about me. I was born, lived all my life in London, and have my businesses based here. And it gives me great pleasure to speak to potential students because in a world which is becoming increasingly competitive, the first thing we have to all acknowledge is that education is the key to advancing. And I clearly think that your qualification is going to be the gateway to a destination anywhere in the world. Of course, shipping and logistics management is such an industry which covers every port, every city, every town, a truly global industry. And what I'm here to talk to you about is essentially that the prospects of a job in Europe, particularly in the United Kingdom, after once you've actually succeeded in passing your qualification. As you can see behind me, that's an image of the City of London. I don't know how many of you have visited it before. One of those buildings, which dates back to 1744, is the Baltic Exchange. Now, the Baltic Exchange is the main building, the main centre, the hub for the shipping industry, which includes the indices and the prices for the daily freight and 7 different shipping and maritime indices. It consists of 650 companies which agreed together, the leading companies in the shipping industry, to work under a unified business code. And I sincerely hope that after your qualification, many of you will consider coming to work with us here in the United Kingdom. And at this point, I just want to clear up, Joshua, the issue about Brexit, because many people are under the misapprehension that the Brexit process is going to make it more difficult for people coming to the United Kingdom to work. As you know, from January 2021, Priti Patel, our Home Secretary, who's actually of Indian descent, has implemented an immigration system, point system, which we suspect, and I've got here reports from 2 articles from the Economic Times and one even from the Financial Times, which says Indian migrants to UK surge ahead of Brexit. So what we're finding is now Britain is open to the world like it once was. We're coming out of the European Union, but we're finding ourselves now working closer with Commonwealth partners like India. And certainly it's going to be now a situation where our jobs market is open, not just to Europeans, but to people who committed so much to the United Kingdom through the Commonwealth. And of course, India is the best and greatest example of that. Now, this is a difficult time and a challenging time. Many of you will be considering, is this the right time now to be investing in further qualifications. We know it's going to be economically challenging times ahead. But the best thing, the one thing nobody can ever take away from you is knowledge and information and education. And I just wanted to read here a quote from the great activist. I wanted to use the slides, but I think because we're short of time. He said that education is the passport to the future, for tomorrow belongs to those who prepare for it today. And what I want everyone to consider is doing this qualification today going to take them closer to where they want to be tomorrow? And I think the answer is a resounding yes. And I'm hoping that actually at the end of your course, we'll be seeing many of you here in the United Kingdom, because we do have a drastic shortage of management staff in both shipping management and logistics. Obviously, as we know, logistics is the area which governs the transport of goods from their place of origin to their place of consumption. Irrespective of the economic conditions anywhere in the world, people are going to still be buying goods. And so even if you find a situation, when we do have now in the pandemic, where, for example, the demand for luxury goods has seriously declined, we are finding that we still need logistics management to get across the personal protective equipment, to get through the life-saving ventilators, and of course to deal with the disrupted supply chains, which we've seen because of the different queues and lockdowns and so forth in our shops. In fact, in the UK, we now have a situation whereby almost everything is ordered from our bedroom, whether that's groceries or whether that's furniture or clothing. We picked up a very strong habit during the pandemic, and that was in the early stages of our lockdown in Europe. It was very difficult to actually go and buy things because most of the shops were closed, and the other half, which were supplying groceries, were actually subject to enormous queues. So people were ordering everything online. I mean, to the point that I've been receiving items now which were ordered 3 months ago. So we're finding that the logistics industry in Europe is under severe pressure, and that is, as the IFO Institute in Germany predicted, is hampered by the lack of skilled labour. And so that's why I think going on to this course is one of the best things you could probably do at this time. In spite of coronavirus, I think it's a very important point to make here, the logistics industry is expected to grow this year by 3.48%, so that in the coming year, the industry will relate to a total $12.256 billion. And of course, we're in a situation now where all this global trade is driven by internet sales. And all of us are in this situation where I often wonder how our grandparents would envisage living in a world where they could turn on a computer screen, a box, and order literally everything anywhere in the world. We're in a completely different world now, and clearly we're going to be seeing an acceleration in internet sales online, and the logistic market's only going to go onwards and upwards. And that, for you as students of logistics, people who are going to be qualified in logistics and shipping management, is great news. Now, the competitive business dynamics are meaning that there will be an unprecedented surge in the industry like never before. Moving to Europe, Saville said last year was the biggest investment year for transactions into the logistic market, given that countries like Germany, Denmark, France, Sweden, United Kingdom, and now ordering most of their goods online. So again, moving on further and just talking about what you can expect after you've passed your MBA, I'm just going to give you some figures globally. Now, 57,000 is the average starting salary of somebody with the MBA in India. If we go to Germany, it's $94,000 we're speaking of. Japan, 106,800. Singapore, 105,300. Italy is 111,800. The United Kingdom, 122,900. And Australia and France is on $116,200. Canada, $111,900 for the starting salary. The USA, $120,900. And Switzerland is the best place to go if you have an MBA, because they're paid on average $140,900. So we can see that earning an MBA is a tremendous way to earn a great salary. So what does that mean? An MBA means great salary, it means great international job prospects, great chance of international travel, prestige, flexibility, because the skills that you're going to acquire through this MBA course is going to have you in good stead in many different sectors. And of course, as we've already said, logistics is one of the fastest growing markets in the world. I'm just going to have to bear with me because I need to bring my plug here. 1 second. Unfortunately, I think I'm running out of battery. So apologies for that. So if we move on further down the line, here in the UK, if you look at Reed Employment, which is one of the biggest, or the biggest recruitment agency in the UK, I mean, you just need to go onto their website just to see the amount of jobs that are available in logistics. And the average salary for logistics manager, starting salary, is £47,477, which equates to about $63,000. And of course, if you factor in an MBA, then you could easily be adding another 30%, which means that you will probably recover the money for your MBA within or less than several months in to your first year salary. In the UK, there are 2.5 million people currently employed in logistics, with 195,000 businesses involved in the sector. So just to go a bit further again, equally in Germany, we see that the logistics market is recovering faster than any other market. Again, as we said, the IFO Institute is saying that the biggest problem we have is a shortage of skilled labor. So in truth, industry needs goods to be procured, stored and dispatched. That's irrespective of your which industry is successful at the time. So if you have a situation where luxury goods, as we've said, are not in demand because of the pandemic, then other items will be, as in personal protective equipment. We still need the same logistic support to move those goods around. And the beauty of being qualified in logistics is that you're in a sector which therefore is not specifically set to the success of a particular industry. So if, for example, mobile phones are not in such great demand tomorrow, another product will be, and that will have to go through the same logistic framework. So what kind of jobs will you be able to apply for in the UK and in Europe once you have your MBA in logistics? That is, moving on, we have supply chain management, procurement and supply chain management, freight transportation management, warehouse management, distribution network, design and supply, inventory management, and so forth. So the UK is going to be a great place for you to come and work, to explore once you have your qualification. And just to give you an idea that even post-lockdown, we see that the BBC reported on the 31st of August, the 1st of August, that out of the 5 sectors post-lockdown in the world, which are looking to employ the new people, the fastest growing, 3 of them are in the logistics sector. So you're definitely going into the right industry at the right time. And this also was highlighted by The Guardian on the 31st of July, where they said similar things about the logistics industry as being one of the most important industries to develop after. So just going further down to the shipping industry, we can see that nearer to home, the Indian shipping industry is now a very important player in the global market. Currently accounts, you may be hearing some of the London ambulances, currently accounts for over 8% of the global trade, shipping trade, and employs 515 vessels. Globally, we have something like 50,000 commercial shipping vessels in the world. Now, as a result of this expected upturn in shipping and logistics, therefore, companies such as Hermes, Amazon have employed 25,000 new people just in the last month in the UK. And if we look in America, well, it's even more pronounced because we have over 100,000 new jobs just been created in the past month. In shipping, there's obviously relentless demand. The world population in the last 40 years has doubled, whereas the maritime shipping industry has quadrupled. So again, in the UK, there are many roles available to people here. And one of the key roles in shipping management, of course, is to be coordinated team, working in planning, commercial, on port, different operational roles, and organising and maintaining ships and vessels activities. So I sincerely hope that you will look to coming into the industry. Confucius said, if you find a job which you actually enjoy, then you never have to work another day of your life. So the shipping industry is one such industry. Through the industry, you're going to meet probably millions of very thousands, hundreds of thousands, very interesting people. You're going to have the opportunity to travel. And I sincerely hope that this MBA will be your gateway to a new world. And certainly, please consider London, because London is open for business. We already have a very strong Indian community here, very strong Tamil community. And I think that you will find it a great place to work. And I'm sure that you will find it one of the easier places to find jobs. So just so another little thing before I go. Even in India, we've seen in the past few weeks that e-commerce has witnessed a 17th growth post-COVID-19 and 65% growth in brands now opening up websites to sell goods online. So there is no doubt that logistics and shipping are industries of the future. They're industries you should be investing your time in and gaining qualifications in. So thank you very much, Joshua. I don't know if there's anything else you want to ask.
Thank you very much, Andrew. A couple of quick questions to you.
Yeah.
So what would be the type of technical skills a logistics company would be looking in a fresher?
Well, interestingly enough, technological skills are in very high demand. So we'll see that, for example, in Germany, most logistic companies, they use different skill. They use Twitter, they use Facebook, they use their news groups, they use different ways to promote their services. So, of course, when we're talking about shipping and logistics, we're not only talking about the people there in the front line, we're talking about management in the back room. So we're talking about administrative management, talking about marketing management, and all these things are covered, of course, in your course.
Sir, next question, sir. The pandemic has impacted most of the industries. How do you think this industry will be post-COVID?
Sorry, again, please, Joshua. I didn't catch the question. Hello? Yeah, sorry.
Sir, are you able to hear me?
Yeah, I am now. Go ahead, Joshua, sorry.
Yeah, many of the industries have been affected by COVID. So how do you think the logistics and shipping industry will perform post-COVID?
Well, I mean, the evidence is it's performing very well. And in fact, it's growing in globally, particularly in the UK. We've seen it growing enormously. And the reason for that, can you hear me? Hello? Hello, Joshua?
I think there is some technical issue. I think your connection is a bit...
Can you hear me now?
Yeah, it's better now, sir. Yeah.
Okay, perfect. Yeah. So as we said, the industry's been it's been hampered in the sense that two things. One, obviously, there's been a downturn in international trade. But at the same time, we've seen that people are now using logistics more and more goods are ordering online. As I said, Hermes and Amazon have hired, just in the last few weeks, 25,000 more people. And if we look into one of the articles I've got here, is in the north of England, in the next few years, they're anticipating a further 164,000 jobs being created in the logistics industry. In America, in the United States, of course, Amazon have hired a further 100,000 people to deal with the excess demand. So on the one hand, international trade is down, but what we're finding is that that trade is being distributed in a more careful and more logistically active way, if you like. So therefore, they're still anticipating the logistics industry globally to grow by almost 3.5% this year. So it is one of the best industries to be in, certainly in the UK.
Wonderful. Sir, thank you very much for waiting very patiently today and joining with us from London and sharing your very valuable inputs about the logistics and shipping industry, how it works in London and in Europe. Once again, sir, on behalf of both our institutions, we would like to thank you for joining with us today, sir.
Thank you very much, Joshua. I'll just also give my email address if anybody wants any further questions about job prospects
yes,
after
please.
the MBA. And that's woodlandsandrew@gmail.com. So that's Woodlands, W-O. Sorry? Yeah, that's WOODLANDS.
Thank you very much, sir.
At gmail.com. Thank you very much. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Joshua. Thank you. Bye.
So as all good things come to an end, it gives me great pleasure to thank all the speakers. I would just like to summarize what all the speakers have said in these past 3 days. We have had 12 guest speakers from various countries who had come and shared their inputs and their experience. All of them have come from diverse background, and everybody had minimum of 15 to 25 years of experience in that particular industry. So Ms. Ankita from Landmark Group said that mentorship is very important for a successful career and is a huge career in logistics and shipping industry in UAE. Ramin said cryptocurrency and blockchain will become a huge demand, and Shankar Subramanian said logistics will pave path for more job opportunities such as logistics coordinator, and many more technical jobs will arise and UAE would be the future hub. Professor Manoj Kumar Mishra said planning, controlling, and implementation are the key areas in logistics. And from Srinivasan Palani sir, logistics and supply chain are moving towards digital modification and integration of technology. And today we had Vimal Nathan sir from Bharat Petroleum who explained to us how big the logistics and supply chain industry is in India and what are the various job opportunities which is available in India. Uma Maheshwari ma'am rightly pointed out how women could play a very important role in the logistics and shipping industry, and what are the job opportunities which are there for women. And we had Anbaladan sir from Singapore who said that the job opportunities available in Singapore and how Singapore is emerging as a huge hub. It is very close with India, and many people in India or Asia could try for a job in Singapore. And last we had Andrew sir who joined with us from London and said how London is already open for business opportunities and job opportunities in the avenue of logistics and shipping. So with that, I would like to summarize what all the speakers had said in these past 3 days. And I would like to tell all the participants here, logistics and shipping is a bright avenue, and it opens a lot of career opportunities and business opportunities in the future. Even during the pandemic, one of the avenues, one of the industries which never shut down was the logistics industry. With this, I would like to wind up today's session. Just few instructions. We'll be sending you the feedback link in the chat box. All of you, please fill in the feedback forms. Number 1. Number 2, we will also share you a number. In case if you do not receive your certificate by tonight, in case if any of you do not receive your e-certificate by tonight, please leave a text message to that WhatsApp number, and your e-certificate will be raised. The ticket will be raised. We have a technical aspect, and we will raise it. Our chatbot will chat with you and guide you and help you get the e-certificate maximum by tomorrow. Once again, I would like to, on behalf of AMET University and Tamilnadu Advanced Technical Training Institute, myself, our team of faculties, many people had worked to make this project a successful. I would like to thank Divya, Sundaresan sir, Lakshmanan sir, our entire backend team, and I would like to thank all the speakers who have joined with us, and I would like to thank all the participants for joining with us all the 3 days continuously and taking this time out of all your schedules. On behalf of all the institutions, all the people, I thank you all. With that, I would like to invite you all to raise for the national anthem. Sorry, unfortunately, there was some technical issue. But anyways, thank you all. Please fill in the feedback form, and looking forward to see you all in our next webinar. Have a wonderful evening. Have a wonderful weekend. Thank you, everyone.